Hey there, everybody. This is Ryan of Volpine Marketing coming at you live with today's Tuesday Tips. Now, if you don't know me and you don't know Volpine Marketing, what we do is we create beautiful websites for local businesses and help them get found in Google. And today's Tuesday tip is going to be all about how to get found in Google, or at least some of the things that may be preventing you from doing so. We have several businesses that come to us and say, hey, I'm just not generating any revenue. I'm not getting any new clients, not getting any new patients from Google. Can you help me understand why? And today I'm going to be going through one of those really basic things that we need to check to make sure that you are in a position that you can be found by people who are searching what you do. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen and talk about today's Tuesday tips, which is Google My Business primary business category. Okay, so we're all familiar with Google My Business, or at least I hope you can become familiar with Google My Business. If you own a business or manage one, Google My Business or GMB is a place that you can go. It's a free resource that's created by Google to help you be able to manage the information that consumers see about your business. The way where this information is then shown to the public is in Google searches just like this, right? So if I search sporting goods stores, I'm here in Idaho Falls, you can see the different companies or the different sporting goods stores that are showing up for this search. And there's a handful of businesses here. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today in particular is this line of information right here that says sporting goods store. Now, that's important because that matches pretty closely what I am searching. Now, it would be kind of silly here if this one said grocery store or something like that, right? And if Big Five in this particular location had marked their business as grocery store rather than sporting goods store, then there's a good chance that they probably wouldn't show up for this query because Google takes into consideration pretty heavily what you put as your primary business category. So if you don't have access to your Google My Business listing, I have created another tutorial where I go through how to either claim or create a Google My Business listing. But if you're in the back of the listing here I am in the back of mine, Volpine Marketing, located here at North Rommel Avenue in Idaho Falls. And here's the business category, right? So you go into the back end, you go into the info section, and here you can put all sorts of things, where you serve, your hours of operation, your website, all this other helpful information. That's all well and good. Up here, you can see this is kind of where the business category is kept. So for me, my number one category that I wanted to show up for was marketing agency. That's what I do, right? We're a pretty well-rounded company. We do website design, graphic design, video production, search engine optimization, all that kind of stuff. And we felt like marketing agency was probably the best category to put us in. So I went ahead and I put that one as our primary category. And then underneath that, I added all these other categories that I felt were appropriate. Here, if I click here, I can go ahead and add in another one if I wanted to. So if I wanted to say that I did photography, if I was a photographer, I could go ahead and add that here. I don't necessarily have that in there. I do photography, but I don't feel like it's the best fit for me. So generally, I will send that kind of business elsewhere. But if I wanted to get more web design clients, if that was like my number one priority, then what I would recommend is I would go through, get rid of all these categories and put web designer as my primary one, and then maybe add marketing agency under here beneath. That would probably make the most sense. Here's an example of kind of where this shows up. Let's see here. Estate planning, right? This is a search, and I did it as if I was located in St. George, Utah. Now, what's interesting is when I search estate planning there in St. George, Utah, you can see the primary business category for all of these law firms that are located here is estate planning attorney, right? You can see that right here. And you go down and all these top results, right? So let's see here, how many results? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 results, all at the top of Google here for this particular term. And that's because they have estate planning attorney set as their primary business category. You can see here that this next attorney that may show up is just labeled as plain generic attorney, which, because it's not as specific of a business category, is what may be preventing them from showing up higher. So if they wanted to show up more competitively, they would need to change their primary business category. Um, this is also true for things like pizza delivery, right? So I went ahead and I did that search here from Idaho Falls, and you can see that the #1 result is because they either had their primary business category or an additional business category set as pizza delivery. You can see Papa John's here, because they don't necessarily do delivery, they don't have pizza delivery set as one of their business categories. They just have it set to pizza, right? So that's why Google is giving preferential treatment to Domino's over Papa John's for that particular query. If I was just to do pizza places, it might show up differently because then it would be giving preference to other factors that may kind of decide where a person's going to rank in Google, right? So that's pretty important, is that if you're trying to show up for a particular business category, it's good to have them listed. It's good to be very specific about what you do and what you're trying to accomplish. Another example of one that I saw that could have used a little bit of help was I did there was a company that came to me that they did videography, and their primary business category was set as like media group or something like that. And so naturally they weren't showing up in Google searches very competitively, but once we changed their primary business category to video production service rather than media group, they then started to become a little bit more competitive in Google searches as a result. Now, primary business category is certainly not the only thing that determines where you're going to rank, but it is certainly one of them. And it's one of the first things that I check, right? So super important. Also, it's good if there's just other business types of businesses, as I've mentioned before, it's good to add those in here. So here's a massage therapist, right? Massage therapist is their primary business category, no doubt, right? But if there's other things that they did, it would be good to have it in there. For example, there's a business category for Thai massage, sports massage, foot massage parlor, and erotic massage. So good times there. If they did any of that type of work and they wanted to show up for those types of searches, I would definitely recommend that they add those in there. Inversely, if they don't want to show up for some of those, then I'd make sure that you don't have those in there. And there may be a chance they'll still show up, but it's a good way to avoid them if you just don't have them listed in there to begin with. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. But this is one of the things that I see a lot of businesses that are using Google My Business that could be doing significantly better if they just made sure that their primary business category and the additional business categories that they had were set up correctly. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.